Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Serious Strategy Game and we are returning to a Let's Play of Rule the Waves 3. We have gotten to a bit of a better balance in Northeast Asia against the Brits, and that's pretty good. I think that is going to be nice. We also are struggling a little bit with our finances, so a lot of the ships that we are currently rebuilding are actually halted. But I do hope that that's going to figure itself out after we've finished building these corvettes and other things, so that might be good. In the meantime, I've also set up some of our destroyer fleets to not be on trade protection anymore because the corvettes are basically taking over that role. That being said, I think it is a good time to hit the next turn button, except for one thing. I did want to show you the history. That is a new button that I didn't notice before, really. And let's look at the fleet tonnage here. And specifically, look at the graph here for the UK. And this year is the Battle of Hawaii. So yeah, I just found that fascinating. Just look at the drop here and how much they really lost here. I find that quite interesting. Now that being said, let's hope that France doesn't join the war anytime soon. I would really appreciate if that didn't happen. And we are now again at an engagement here in Hawaii. That is the battle that where we're currently invading the British colony. That is why it's not surprising that there are going to be battles here. It's only a small one, which I detest because our big ships actually do have quite a bit of an advantage, and our small ships not so much. So yeah, let's see what's going to happen here. We're going to go ahead and hit the next turn button a couple of times until we see the enemy ships. There they are. And let's see what we can do about them. Now, firstly, I think you guys should be supporting, not screening. So let's make sure that that happens with a line ahead formation. There we go. And then let's see how they drive. That does not look like a heavy cruiser to me. That looks more like a light ship, potentially a destroyer. Nevertheless, let's try to see what we've got here. Okay, we've got decent ships. 12 6-inch guns, I like that. That's kind of nice. Another 12 6-inch guns. And another one. So yeah, pretty good ships here. I think that's nice to see. So let's see whether we're going to be better this time around than the last times. Now, nevertheless, we do need to turn in here so that we have a good shot on them, that we've got a good angle basically. But yeah, these are destroyers. That is for sure. They're just way too fast and nifty and doing that sort of dance around there. There is the first blood. We have scored 2 6-inch gun hits here on them. There's another 2. Now, I do think it makes some sense to wiggle around a little bit here. Just a little bit of wiggle, so that we are not being hit by torpedoes. And yes, I know it's called zigzagging, but it's a nice term, wiggle. Right, there's another hit here on a heavy cruiser, which we know is not the case. Looks like there might be one light cruiser. This ship here, that's a bit bigger than the other ones. Could still be a destroyer too. No, there's definitely at least one light cruiser, a Psyche class, with also 6 5-inch guns. 16 5-inch guns. That's significant. 16 5-inch guns? Who are you targeting? Yeah, let's try to target that ship. That seems to be a worthwhile target. Let's do a turn here to the north. Come in parallel with her. A couple of torpedoes here by the destroyers. Honestly, I think for now we're going to hold fire because it's just super unlikely that we're going to hit anything. It's just too far away. These guys are too fast. There was a hit on the Psyche, so that's nice. But I do think we need to go a little bit here to port. There's another hit to Psyche and a couple of further ones, and on the Zulu class, which is lovely to see. Hopefully she didn't send torpedoes our way. Yeah, I think we're going to turn a little bit further away even. That means we are going to get out of range here fairly soon. Ooh, but there are the first hits on us, not good. Ooh, and Nirvana is immediately going to the rear of the line here, which I dislike to see. That might mean she's actually hit a little bit worse than I did expect. Would have been fun if that torpedo had hit there. Of course it didn't though. Right, I think we can go back towards streaming straight towards them. Do we have any objective, by the way? No, it's just sort of a generic engagement, smallish engagement at that. Curious that they managed to get away so fast, especially the light cruiser. I would have expected, with so many hits being scored on her already, that she might have suffered some damage there. Okay, that was just an all save. Yeah, further hits here on her. That's good to see, of course. But again, it's only on the destroyer, so that does not matter too much. Now, Naniwa is falling behind here a little bit. I don't like to see that. No, we do not want to detach her. That means we're losing some speed here, but I suppose that's alright. Psyche is peeling back there. But if we could at least get rid of the destroyer here, that'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? The hit on us, not good. And that is Psyche firing here. Yeah, Zulu is being hit. Okay, Zulu has been dealt with, I find. So let's make sure that we had a good course to intercept the other heavy cruiser here. Well, light cruiser. Yeah, well, she's running away from us, and that allows her to fire on us pretty aggressively. We need to get away from the destroyer, though, otherwise we're always going to target her because she is such an easy target. But she's going down anyway, so there's really no point in trying to hit her any further. Now, okay, let's go to max speed. Okay, one more destroyer. There's not a light ship, not a light cruiser. Yeah, she's just way too small and nimble. And even though the game sometimes tells you, yeah, this is a light cruiser, misidentifications do happen, and they happen fairly often. Now, this type of course here is pretty bad, though, because that might indicate that they have launched torpedoes, or would be in a fairly good position to do that. So let's just turn away here. And maybe even turn due west again. We are scoring some hits on them, so I'm hoping that we have disabled their torpedo tubes or some other fighting capabilities here. We are not in a line ahead formation, but then again, we are in no position to cross anyone in T, so that should be a-okay. Let's keep on zigzagging. Okay, no ammo's fine. A torpedo would not be nice. So changing course it is. Small engagement here. Let me know whether you'd like to see these kinds of engagements or whether you'd want me to focus on the larger ones. Because they can be a little bit time consuming. I will try to make sure that you see via the thumbnail for each episode whether it's going to be a big kind of battle or not. Let's try to get back information. That ship is going to go down. Yeah, this is costing us a lot of ammo. But seems to be alright. Okay, you guys, could you go back to screening? Supporting? Screening. Let's say screening. Okay, I think the other ship might be somewhere around Hawaii. I'm not sure. Well, I suppose we could get closer, right? Let's get over here. Come on, guys. Get down here. Can go to fast speed. Let's see whether we do find any enemies. Max speed is still 23 knots, so it's a bit of an issue. It's not too bad, but still it means one of our guys cannot do very rapid repairs as we go ahead. Yeah, but we don't find anyone down here. Excuse me? You're avoiding torpedoes. How? From where? We should have very good vision. Who is launching torpedoes? Okay, I find that scary, so let's turn away. Might be some land installations, like the Germans suffered at Norway, but I didn't see any, but then again, so didn't they. So I suppose we can just run away. Let's go back to cruise speed so that we're not taxing the engines too much. Right. They lost 2 destroyers, that's fine. Light damage on 2 of our light cruisers, light damage on 1 of theirs. Nothing too big. Small victory here for us. We can go ahead and take a look at the starting positions. Yeah, we were kind of close to one another down here, but that's alright. There's 1 destroyer. Must have been her who's launching the torpedoes. Oh, and there are the other guys. Yeah, it would have been nice to meet them, but we didn't. So it's okay. Just a small a couple of victory points here. Some ships finishing their working up and some being commissioned, so that's very lovely. On the other hand, the US is obviously developing radar, and that is not great. And we are getting bonus after bonus. And we have finally taken control over Hawaii. That's very good. And on the other hand, we are losing the Suzuki. Not sure what class that was, but that's unfortunate. But that does mean that we now have control over this area here, and we're not going to lose that even if we're going to sign a white peace. And it means that all of the British ships in this area are now subject to a lot of constraints because they shouldn't be able to base themselves down here anymore. So that is interesting. Let's look at the ships under construction because we've just built so many. I think we can resume the construction of a couple of our ships. I would especially like to get some destroyers and such. Let's resume the construction on all of these guys, and I think on the battleships as well. 2.5 million minus. That will not quite work, but some of them are going to be finished soon, so I'm going to say that's going to be more or less fine. And then these guys down here, you are now in active forces, so we can assign you to trade protection. We've got enough ships to do that, so that's fine. And lots of our ships are coming now out of maintenance, basically, and we are ready to go with you guys. Now, I want to keep you around in Northeast Asia for one more turn and see what the Brits are going to do, because I don't want to be blockaded. That wouldn't be the best. There's a convoy attack down here. We don't have a lot of forces down here. And this would be a medium battle. Convoy attack. They might very well have a lot more ships than we do. I'm going to decline this battle because it's just too risky to me. Losing a heavy cruiser? Yeah, you know what? We're going to accept it. Let's see what's going to happen here. This is not the wisest choice, but it is the choice that we're going to make. So yeah, we've got Iwati. Pretty decent ship. 8 8-inch guns, 6 4-inch guns, dual purpose. I would hate to lose her. So let's see what the enemy is going to bring. If it's a medium-sized battle, it might be that they actually have a lot more than we can hope to beat. Right, so we might just want to scuffle out of here if we get the chance. I think the destroyers that we did send here are pretty much pretty good or relatively old ones, so I'm not too concerned about losing them. Okay, let's try to get down here. This should be where the convoys are. So maybe if we can get unmanned ship sighted. Okay, there we go. What kind of ship is that though? That is the big question. Okay, you guys go to supporting, please. You've got 9 torpedoes each. That's a decent number. You've got also 9 each. That's okay. That's a bit too fast. Right, yeah, I do think they have heavy ships down there. We're identifying them at various different stuff, but I don't quite believe that is what they truly are. Okay, that down there, that is a convoy though. Pretty sure of that. Okay, they've got a diadem class. Let's compare our ships to theirs. 6 8-inch guns and 12 5-inch guns. We had 8, right? We've got 4 inches of belt armor, 1.5 inches of deck armor. Similar on the end. So we have a slight advantage here at longer ranges. But it's not a significant one. And they've got more light cruisers as well. And they've got a lot of ships that are now streaming towards us. Okay, let's try to... The wind is blowing from the north. This time I'm noticing how this is to be read. So that means it's blowing over our ships and potentially hampering our gunnery efforts. Not good. Yeah, that down there looks like more heavy ships. Diadem is pulling back. Cleopatra and Canada. Well, if we can engage a couple of light cruisers here, then I'm going to be pretty happy. That would be pretty good. Canada class hit. There's the Cleopatra class down there too. Two Cleopatra classes actually. Okay, so as long as we are not facing off against the heavy cruisers, or only at extreme ranges where our gunnery advantage might play some role, I would be happy with that. Yeah, but we're fighting at extreme ranges here. It's pretty unlikely that we're going to score a lot of hits. Cleopatra, you've got 6-inch guns and 9 of them, so you're pretty dangerous if you are getting too close. Let's drive a little bit to the north then, so that we keep the distance here. Not sure what that Zulu class is going to try to do there, but I think a 90-degree course is going to be alright. We do, after all, want to keep on engaging them. Yeah, there we go. Nice hit. Okay, but there's the Diadem class. And that is your true target. Let's make sure that we are firing on that guy. And we want to keep the distance so that they don't fire their 5-inch guns. Or we can try to again close the distance and use our 4-inch guns. But honestly, I'm a little bit happier with this being an 8-inch duel. We're scoring a good number of hits here. How do they look? Yeah, okay, one of their turrets has already been at least temporarily out of action. I'm never quite able to read that, so that's good. That's a third of their firing capabilities. Another 2 hits here. On the other hand, they have an awful lot of ships. Both of their forward firing platforms are now out of action. They might be turning away here, yeah. Yeah, indeed they are. Okay, let's go back to 96-degree course. Okay, all of the light ships are now trying to save her. They're sprinting in, doing torpedo stuff, or just making sure that we can't close in. But honestly, I'm not sure that they're going to be successful in doing that. If we keep the distance just slightly open. Curiously enough, they can fire on us, and they have just hit our deck armor, although they might have not penetrated it. So maybe we don't have the elevated guns, and they do. In which case, we do need to make sure that we are gonna close in a little bit more. And I think they only should have a single turret now. Well, at least unless they fix stuff. Yeah, okay, they've fixed one of the turrets, but not both of them. So maybe a little bit less so we can get all of our guns into action. Come on, guys, come on. You can hit her. I do believe in you. Just open up slightly. Okay, open up a lot more to 90 degrees or so. Oh, let's make it 90. Okay, now she has hit us. And now we have lost one of our turrets. 2 of our turrets, actually. One of them is jammed since a couple of minutes. I didn't even notice. And And then we had a turret top hit. So we're down to 2 turrets, whereas they have 2. We're also seeing all of their light ships coming in now. Which turrets are out of action? And I never quite understand which way is the front. Well, if our front turrets are out of action, we might as well turn a little bit to the north, right? Near miss here. Yeah, she's found the distance, and we're now engaging the light cruiser. Please don't do that. Your target is the heavy cruiser. That's the dangerous one. And we can go even further to the north here. Yeah, we'll need to go a lot further to the north, I believe. Because if these light cruisers can... Yeah, these light cruisers even have found the distance, so... we might as well try to run away here. These destroyers, you could launch torpedoes, right? Yeah, you could. Don't be shy here. Okay, diadem class hit. If we could get down here and launch a couple of torpedoes, that would be brilliant. She has 2 turrets. Yeah, but with all of these light cruisers, I'm a little bit reluctant. Well, I was wondering whether you could launch torpedoes. You did. I don't think that was a particularly good idea, though. That should be a little bit more like that. Yeah, these guys are going to pass in front. They're not going to do anything. Would have been lovely if they had hit anything. But, of course, they didn't. Okay, let's go back to 90 degrees. How are your turrets looking, mate? Yeah, still 3 turrets in action. That's looking better. Yeah, we're not going to be able to break through to the convoy. Our ships are just way too weak. But if we can do some damage against their light forces, I'm not going to say no. If we can whittle down their escorts, that'd be brilliant. I don't mind that. Right, on the other hand, they seem to be withdrawing back to the convoy, so let's turn back into them. Well, or they might have seen the torpedoes and decided to run away from that. Yeah, it almost looks like the Cleopatras are coming back. Not sure whether all of the torpedoes launches are a good idea here. Still 2 good hits here on Cleopatra. Turret disabled, that I like to see less. Zulu class being hit by 4-inch guns, that's nice. Come on, guys. Do your thing. I do believe that the one ship here is slowing down a little bit. So that might be an indication that she has suffered significant damage. Which might or might not mean that we can take her on, but... engine room hit, not good. Lots of destroyers, on the other hand, we do have quite a number of them too, so... at least our 4-inch guns should be doing well here. Yeah. 4-inch guns are doing some damage. Just need to be careful about their torpedoes. And I would now love to take on the Cleopatra there. But that being said, they are doing a lot of damage here against us. But I must believe that we are doing some damage too. Okay, please no torpedoes. Please no torpedoes. There's the diadem class again. And she's steaming for us. We think she has medium damage, but do I believe that? Answer is no, I don't. And at this point we too have suffered a lot of damage. I think you are tasked to fire at the diadem. Come on. Open fire. Near miss on us. Waterline hit. And a hit on our destroyer. Another hit. Yeah, sometimes when they find the range, it's rapidly hitting them dramatically. We're hitting them, they are hitting us. And we're awfully close towards the shoreline here. Still, let's try to sail sort of in a parallel direction here. And another turret disabled. Okay, this is getting too much. We're also seeing engine damage. It is time to break off, go to the north. It might have been time to do that before. Let's try to sail away. Hopefully, they're not going to come after us too aggressively. There are further torpedoes. Very good launch of these torpedoes there. I like that. At least we disrupted them here for a while. Is that going to be enough? I don't know. But it's still going to be better than being killed outrightly. Right, so heavy damage here on our heavy cruiser. That's not good. Oh no, we can still repair down here. We're not going to be interned. But still, we did fail our mission, so this is not going to give us any points. I think we're going to lose a couple of points. No ships lost on our side. I don't believe we have sunk a lot of theirs. It would have been really lovely to break into that stuff, send out a couple of torpedoes. But it was not meant to be, so here we are. Right, ultra fast, guys. Just make your way over here. Well, maybe over here. We don't need to be too close to the stuff there. Oh well, that's lovely. We did get one auxiliary there on with our submarine, but that's just sort of abstracted. Medium damage on 2 of our destroyers. I think we dealt slightly more damage than they, but all in all, still their victory. Yeah, not a significant one though. Right, let's see what else is happening. Okay, our ships are being refurbished. That's nice. China and France have signed an alliance. Interesting. That might mean that we are going to face off against the Chinese monster at some time. So, how do we see the war? Well, I do think we can crush them completely. We have indeed done a lot of damage to them. A new floatplane scout, that is appreciated, although the reliability is pretty poor, which is why we're actually developing another one. And they are invading our possessions in the Marianas. That too is pretty interesting. Because, well, firstly we lost something there, one of our corvettes, but that's going to be alright. Okay, you guys are doing fine, Our monthly balance is back in the positives. But we have now an active fight down here in Southeast Asia. We have very few British troops left in Northeast Asia, so I think we're going to face off against them on sort of a longer distance here. We can support some ships down there, but probably not all of them, so there's some balance to be considered down there. I would also love to finally be able to build this heavy cruiser here that we had constructed at some point, or designed at some point. We're building it for, I think, from the beginning of the game. We've got this guy in the works. But in just a couple of months, we should have some budget here. In fact, next month, we should see Itsumo coming back into service, so that's going to be good. Right, that being said, I think now is a good place to put in a cut. So, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Do leave a like and let me know whether you like these sort of smaller battles or whether you just like to see the big ones. Bye-bye, guys.